All right, Hauppauge High School community. We'll start that again. Hello, Hauppauge High School community. This is Chris Cook, the high school principal, here for another edition of our leadership lunches. Today, we are lucky to be joined by the English department. We are joined by Dr. Michael, the leader of the English department. What's up, Dr. Michael? How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Good, good. And then a variety of teachers who lead our high school students through the English department classes. And we have some tremendous students here. And we're actually launching the first ever of something today. So I'm excited to kind of have that be what we're doing here on this leadership lunch. And so without further ado, I'd like to welcome Dr. Michael to come on and say a few words about what we got going on here today.
Sure. Hello, everyone. On behalf of the English Language Arts Department, I want to congratulate you on this wonderful distinction, being a member of the first Hauppauge English Honor Society. You represent the best in reading, writing, and a passion for literature. As a department, we could not be more proud of all of your hard work and effort in the area of English language arts. I am so proud of you, and I wish you all the best of luck in those of you who are heading off to college next year, and those of you who will be returning in the fall. We're expecting great things for you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Michael. Yeah, first of its kind. And now I'd like to invite Mrs. Darby to come in and talk a little bit about what she's got planned to talk about, and then also to guide our students through the pledge, the honor pledge here, which might be the first time we've ever done this in Hauppauge High School history, where we've inducted people virtually through a pledge. So, Mrs. Darby, go for it.
Hello, everybody. So we're going to hopefully have a formal induction in the fall, but we missed that opportunity here in the spring. So I wanted to do a little brief sort of induction with those of you who are going to be admitted into the Honor Society today. So I'm going to do a little bit of reading from the formal induction ceremony, and then I'll ask you to repeat the motto. On behalf of the National English Honor Society, I would like to congratulate you on your admission to the Hauppauge English Honor Society. You are charged to accept it in the words of the National English Honor Society motto, Yulas shel midaru, which is Old English for duty goes with honor. I'd like to take the opportunity now to have you repeat the motto after me. Duty goes with honor. So you'll have to take the microphone if you're on mute and unmute yourself. So I'll give you a second or two to unmute. All right, good. I see some students unmuting. That's great. All right, so duty goes with honor. Do you want to say it with me? No. I usually count. If I'm in school, if you're doing a play, I'd count. So we could do that. 1, 2, 3. Duty goes with honor. Yeah. Thank you, guys. This charter, this charter carries with it a commitment to the mission of the founders of the society to promote mastery of written expression, encourage worthwhile reading, and foster fellowship among students who excel in English studies. You are further charged to share your gifts by service to society and by fostering literacy. Only persons of high scholarship in English are admitted to our fellowship. We join with others from across the country in celebration of all the fields of English and in acknowledging that a life in which literature and good writing are a significant part is a life worth living.
Excellent. All right. So well done with the unison sharing of the pledge. Good stuff. We're going to now kind of go through the list of students, and I'm just going to present the screen. We'll go one student at a time. Mrs. Darby, I'm going to put you on the spot to read the names as we go through, if that's okay. We'll flow pretty quickly through that portion. And then we're going to pivot to ask you guys a question. And I think we previewed this a little bit, but the question afterwards, if you've watched kind of what we do, we usually ask a funny question like, put your breakfast order in or whatever. But because this is an English department recognition, I think we'll go something with around literature. And the question will be, what is something that you've read or plan to read during this time away from school that you found compelling or that you are excited about reading? Okay. So that's the question. You can answer from the past, something you've read, or from the future, something that you will read. All right, so let's get into the presentation. Present. And my children are singing now in the background the Let It Go song from what's that movie? So
Frozen.
you know, Frozen. There you go. So we have to deal with some of these things. Duty goes with honor. Congratulations, Hauppauge English Honor Society. So Mrs. Darby, if you want to read the students, and then we'll just kind of flow through it.
Okay. Ariana Cunningham.
Congratulations, Ariana, going to Sacred Heart in the fall.
Jade Curtihy. Congratulations, going to Binghamton in the fall. Elise Ostrov. I see you're here today. Did I say that wrong, Elise? I don't know you. Can you come on and say it?
It's Ostrov, but it's okay.
Ostrov. Okay. Well, nice to meet you. And you're going to Quinnipiac University in the fall. Congratulations. Dominic Basilio going to Long Island University CW Post in the fall. Congratulations, Dominic. Peter Procia going to Binghamton University in the fall. Congratulations. Lucia Vilches going to Fordham. Congratulations. Olivia Accardi. Sean Barry. Vivian Chen. Melody Cheng. Abigail Clarke. Loriann Connolly. Jake Divilio. Kathryn Dolce. Matthew Ebert. Austin Faber. Vincent Girardi. Colin Happe. Srivashini Karthikeyan. I'm sorry if I said that wrong.
Sri, are you on here?
Yeah, Sri.
I don't know. I don't remember seeing her on.
Layla Keen. Emily Kelly. Danielle Liu. Kylie LoPiccolo. Rave McCleary. Holly McCullum. Jalaj Mehta. Sean Napolitano. Melissa Oliver. Shivani Rayo. Emely Rodriguez. Tyler Rutley. Michael Schroeder. Noah Schwartzapfel. Sarah Shaik. Kayla Smakal. Ayana Stein-Jones. Madison Traverzo. Alex Vasilakopoulos. Anna Vasilakopoulos. Congratulations.
Excellent. And Mrs. Darby, did you want to do anything with this as a member of National Honor Society? Do you guys do anything related to that? Or I know you read the duty goes honor, but is that something you're going to touch on as well, the rest of it? Or?
No, I think that, well, the induction, we talked a little bit about giving back to the community and service. And I think that Dr. Michael's going to talk a little bit more about what service and what kinds of responsibilities we think that, what you can give back to the community here in Hauppauge.
So let's actually, before we turn the reins back over to a serious message from Dr. Michael, let's lighten things up a little bit. I am curious about what people have been reading in their time away from school. I know you've been reading lots related to schoolwork, that's for sure. Can you hear my son, or am I just paranoid? Do people hear a screaming child in the back? Great, excellent. So we're gonna go into reading. He wants to participate in the question, I think. But Alex, what have you been reading, or will you read in the next little bit?
Yeah, so my aunt actually got me this book for my birthday last year that I finally got to read. It's called Complications by Atul Gawande, and it basically talks about like the fallacies of medicine and how doctors really aren't perfect. And it was really interesting, I gotta say.
Yeah, Gawande and Checklist Manifesto, good stuff. You should check it out. Andrea, what about you?
So I'm reading currently Octavia Butler's Kindred. She's a sci-fi writer, and it is about African-American female character who is living in the 70s and is transported back in time to antebellum Maryland, and what it's like in that experience.
Excellent. I'm going to skip over the faceless people, and we'll go to Dr. Michael.
So I had finished reading Sing, Unburied Sing, recommended by Miss Lynch, by Jesmyn Ward. That was a great book. The language in there is language I've never heard before. Just the richness and description in that book, you would love. People should try it out. It's a great book. I'm reading right now, She Comes Undone by Wally Lamb. Someone in the English department recommended that also. And I'm also, I'm reading multiple books. Some books by Sue Grafton. She is a mystery writer. So that's really light. And I love like a light read, and I love mysteries. So those are some of the books that I'm reading right now.
Awesome. Dawn.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Congratulations. I finished Sing Unburied Sing a few weeks back. So shout out to that book. That's a beautiful book. And I am now finishing up, reluctantly, The Book of Longings by Sue Monk Kidd. It is the story. She reimagines the story of Jesus having a wife. Her name is Anna, and it's Anna's story. So it's a beautiful story. A lot about female empowerment, and just a very interesting translation of the Bible. So thank you.
Beautiful. And Dominic, before I turn it over to you with this question, we have a little bit of a buzz going on.
Yeah.
Figure that out. Congratulations to you, Dominic. Congratulations to you, Dominic, for being the senior who's going to read the poem at graduation.
Thank
Excellent
you.
work. Excellent. We're excited about it, and I'm excited to see you tomorrow. Have you read anything recently?
I read this one book called Animal Farm, which is about these like animals that form a mind of their own and like conquer the farm they're living on. But it's like an allegory for Soviet Russia.
Beautiful.
So yeah,
beautiful.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a classic too. Elise, what about you?
One book that I started, but I haven't had the time to continue reading, and I'm a big fan of the author, so I started reading Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, and I'm like just seeing everyone's perspective of getting the letter to be invited to the island at that point. So, and I read it a long time ago, but I'm having a fresh mind reading it, and I'm really enjoying it. But also I want to read, I have this big book of a collection of Sherlock Holmes stories, so that's next.
Awesome. And I'm still going to continue to skip over anybody with a an icon. If you do want to jump in and provide your book, just feel free to just come on and I'll pick up on it. Abigail, I think you're next. What do you got? What have you been reading?
I've been reading like 3 different books. So I'm reading The Voyage of the Dawn Treader by C.S. Lewis, Court of Mist and Fury for the second time by Sarah J. Maas, and A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. But I plan on reading The Beautiful and the Damned by F. Scott Fitzgerald in the future.
It's a pretty ambitious time. Look at you. You've taken the Dr. Michael approach of having multiple books open simultaneously.
I can't just read one.
Very good. Mrs. Pagliari from the backyard. What do you got going on? What are you reading?
Sorry, my location changes as the kids get closer. Haven't got much reading done this spring, but I did just get the Tao of Pooh, and it's sitting on my night table ready to get started, hopefully soon.
Excellent. I think we have Melody is the next student ready to go.
Yeah, I'm much into classic literature. I love the works of Austen and the Bronte sisters. They never seem to get old, but a book I would like to get my hands on is The Art of War.
Melody, fun fact, I read that as a 10th grader, and it really impacted me tremendously. I think I wrote an English essay about it, actually. Michael Schroeder, go for it.
I plan to start reading the third part in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I've already read the other two books and The Hobbit, and I think it's going to be a good read. Yeah.
Excellent. Michael, have you watched the movies? As you know, I imagine it's hard. Have you watched the movies yet? Are you going to watch it? Are you comparing? Where are you at with the movies?
I watched all three of the Hobbit movies when I was really young, and I read the book later on. And I've only watched the first of the Lord of the Rings movies.
Oh, good for you. So you're going to be able to afterwards go for it. That's very unique. Good experience. Peter, what about you?
Currently, I'm reading a book called When God Gives You Lemons. And basically, it's about a series of stories about people who were in very tough situations that changed drastically, or their mindset changed drastically, the way they looked at it. And then I plan on rereading Tuck Everlasting and then Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli.
Got it. There are a few lemons out there right now, Peter. There are a few lemons out there. Sean, what about you, buddy?
So I haven't really been reading more so. I've actually been journaling kind of my experience in quarantine, because I'm more so of a writer than a reader. I'm getting ready to read a book for my mom's 4th grade class though, because she wants me to do that for community service, and I feel like it'd be a good experience since I do want to teach when I'm older. So I don't know.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think down the line, you'll find a lot of power in the reflections that you've had through the journaling experience, I imagine. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. And Shivani, how many books do you have open right now?
I have a couple, but I'm trying to narrow it down. Right now, I'm really invested in finishing up 11/22/63 by Stephen King, which is basically where a time traveler goes back to try and prevent the assassination of JFK, and it's really interesting. And it's Stephen King is one of the coolest authors, so I'm hoping to finish that soon. And I want to read A Song Below Water, which is by an African American writer, because I want to expose myself to more diverse authors, because I feel like I've been reading very basically with the current events going on, I realize that I need to expand the scope of my reading collection. So I'm hoping to read more diverse works.
Excellent, excellent. And it's awesome how you can kind of figure out how to tell your own story. And I talk a lot about that through the reading of other stories. So kudos to all of you for being very invested in reading and expanding your horizons a bit. I did want to plug something that came across my desk earlier this week, which was something that some of the people on this call have put together in recent weeks. So this is pretty cool. And I should just say, I haven't curated the list here to know if there's anything, inappropriate on here, but I think it's cool. And I doubt it. These guys have great filters from themselves, but I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there first. But Shivani and a few others on this call, we'll meet the writers, put together a website during quarantine, the Hauppauge Pages. This is kind of on their own, and you'll see some names you're familiar with here as contributors. My guess is you can reach out to them and talk, but I see 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 people on this very call who are also doing that work. So kudos to you. That's really cool. We get that out. We put it on the classroom and kind of broadcast it out there. Again, not an endorsement of, but a recognition of. There you go. What these guys write, I can't control for. So good luck to everybody. And Dr. Michael, if you wanted to come in, kind of round it out today with any final words.
Yes. Well, the first thing I want to talk about is we will have some information on a project coming out. Each honor society usually does something to give back to the Hauppauge community, to the Hauppauge school, the high school. So I'll be putting out a project idea next week. But basically, we're going to be asking students to record themselves reading some children's books. And I can give you some options of how to get your hands on children's books if you don't have them, electronic copies, and to read them and record yourself reading them and then share it. And we'll be putting it into a Google folder. This summer, I'll be running a Jumpstart program, which normally runs just a week in the summer. But because of distance learning, we'll be offering this Jumpstart program to all of our AIS students for 6 weeks this summer. It's a little shortened, but it'll be some live lessons by teachers in ELA and math, providing supports to those most needy readers. So I'll be putting the project out to you. I'm hoping you'll be able to participate in it as Honor Society members. And we'll have other great things we'll be doing once we're back together live in the fall or mid-year sometime. And we'll organize some great ideas from you. I know this idea comes from me, and really the idea should come from you. But as an initial start, I'm going to throw this project out, and hopefully you can participate in it. It'll be you putting that together. We'll get support from me, Mrs. Darby, and from Mrs. Buff, my secretary. She'll be helping us to organize all of the materials and getting them out and ready for our Jumpstart program, which will start probably mid-July. So more information to come on that. But before I do sign off, I want to send out a great thank you to some people. First of all, I want to thank Mrs. Darby for helping to organize this Honor Society. This is our first English Honor Society, so thank you, Mrs. Darby. Wonderful job, wonderful teacher. I want to thank Mrs. Buff. Mrs. Buff is my secretary, and she's been doing a lot of behind-the-scenes things, so thank you to Mrs. Buff for all of your hard work. I want to thank Mr. Cook and Building Administration for always supporting the work that we're doing in each of the different departments, so thank you, Mr. Cook. I want to thank the parents for your inspiration. I know it's you. I know it's you as role models, as readers and writers, and valuing literature and literacy that has inspired your children to be the children they are today. So I want to thank you for all of that hard work. And I know as a parent myself, it is a lot of hard work. So thank you for all of that. And last but not least, I want to shout out to all of our ELA teachers, to our English department at the high school, our English department at the middle school, and all of the ELA teachers you've had all through Hauppauge schools, kindergarten all the way up. Many of the teachers that I work with and have been fortunate to work with as a building principal or as director of English language arts are inspiring. They inspire us to read and to write. So we want to thank our kindergarten teachers to our 12th grade teachers for all of their hard work and producing students like you who represent us so well in the area of English language arts. So thank you very much.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Michael. And thank you to everyone on this call. Fun to get together in this way. Different than doing an induction in person, but more, regardless, very nice to have people on the call and kind of recognize your skills, your talents, your hard work. We talk about this a lot. Keep working on your story, refining your story, telling your story, and we're excited to see you again in person. But really love Sean's kind of note that he's been doing a lot of journaling, and Shivani and others on here who have done some work to kind of publish some of their own writing and their own thinking. The tool that you have to just kind of narrate what you are experiencing, feeling, thinking about, and learning about is as important a tool as you will have. So keep going at it. We really appreciate seeing you guys here. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye, guys.
Congratulations, everyone. The best.
Recording has stopped.